Hello, welcome to DK Bullchat. I'm glad you're here. Today we'll get to the point where we have this little bird's head painted on and the feathers more defined. I'm going to put a head on this little hummingbird today, and it's, you know, I thought about it and I think I'm going to change up the color of his head because I think it's got a little bit of, it's like a sort of a magenta pink, so I'm going to put a little bit of quinacridone rose right here and also add a little bit of white to it. I just don't want to bring it up too white like I was doing last time. I'm going to bring it just enough to be brighter. Don't want it to be too much. Anyway, so I've got acrylic paint here and a round brush, and I'm putting them together. Let me just scoot this over so you can see what I'm doing. This is quinacridone magenta and also ultramarine, a little bit of ultramarine, not much, just a little bit. Yeah, I took it all. So it's just a little bit of it. I'm gonna get some white and see what color we get. Oh yeah, that's gonna be better. It's not so bright red. It's more magenta, so it's actually good. I like it a lot. I'm gonna put that on, and I'll start with his little feathers, and I'm bringing down his neck a little bit because he's in full display here. He's gonna, there we go, we'll kind of go with that sort of pink color. Yes, we'll do that. Put in the feathers one by one, right over the top of what I have on there. There's not going to be a red stripe. I will change that up. But I'm glad you're here with me. Magenta pink that I made. When he's face up, I'm going to need to paint little edges around his feathers. Otherwise, it's not going to be as detailed as I'd like it to be. In fact, so if I'm doing that, I might as well. I can put them in right now. That'll work. And I'm going to grab more ultramarine and make a darker red here. So I'm mixing it with the red I already have. I don't need it to be purple. I'm going to go with just a little bit more ultramarine in it, so it's got a shadow on it. And I can come in here and paint in his little edges around where his little feathers are and put him back the way he was. Yeah, that's going to probably work just fine. That's what it looks like, is dark, little dark lines. And this part's going to need to be a little bit lower, so I'll just put the color back over it and do it again. And this darker paint is a little bit thinner. I've added water to it because I want it to stick onto the paint that I've already put on there. There we go. And I'm going to tone this down a little bit. First, I'm just putting them in right now. Get them all the way across. And I'll come back and put that other color on there, and I'm going to do that upside down. There we go. There we go. Just a suggestion of where that little feather is. And he'll have a very nice looking hummingbird head. Okay, so I need to put the edge of the feathers on here again. And they are kind of random. I'm going to see if I can get that to be more random. I just went outside the lines. I'm going to need to take that off with a brush. There we go. And I'll continue with the lines. And the picture, you know, if I turn my reference photo upside down, that might make it easier to see, but I'm just going to keep going back and forth. So. Yeah, and they kind of come in between these guys. There we go. So they're kind of overlapped like scales. They're feathers though. There we go. Going back into the dark paint. And I'm going to do another coat of the new magenta I made, or it's got ultramarine and also red in it. This one's going to be fun to crop. On the video. I'm going to crop the video later. It's fine. Yeah, that's much better. It's just sort of a little shadow underneath his feathers. Okay, back we go. Put this back over. Scooting kind of that way. Let's go back over here. There we go. And then I've got another row I can put in. We may not see all of them easily. Just some, maybe. There we go. Turn him back upside down. And the reason I'm painting that direction is because I want the feather to go over what I just did. I don't want it to be just haphazardly put in there. Just right up to that edge. I gotta get this paint wetter. There we go. A little bit water. I think I need to thin this down a little bit as far as like where's just putting in the color. Because that darker color is working great. Going right over his little pencil line. That's his beak. I just put, there we go. We'll leave the spot for it. And he's also got an eye in there somewhere. We'll figure it out. There we go. And if you notice, I'm coming in from the inside out to that line and going right over that pencil line. There we go. And then this part, would just be filled in. We'll put in that extra little bit of a line. Okay, got it kind of close on the eye. We'll fix that later. Okay, so I'm going to get the edge of this with the brush, same brush. Same thing, direction from the inside out. Okay. Well, he's looking better already. Look at that. He's got a head, a little head on. Go right over this line. Yeah, and then I'm going to turn him upside down to do the edge lines of the... There was a spot I wanted to take out a little bit, and I think it might be on this side. I don't think it's fine the way it is. Right here. So I can move that line. Just a little bit. There we go. Yeah, that's good enough. And then this side also has some. Right here. There we are. Okay. And I'm ready for the next row. Some more of that color. This is ultramarine and quinacridone red. Okay, I'm going to thin that down a little bit because the red that's on there is thinner. The dark color that's the same color that I'm using for the edges, I'm going to put that underneath his chin, because it's kind of from here to here. It's just going to be the darker color of the red, more blue in there. Sort of a shadow color. There we go. Right underneath his little beak. And we don't see a lot of definition in the feathers. But I like the red a lot better with the ultramarine in it. I'll just put that across there. I might have to do another coat because the red that was underneath it was a little bit thin. And I'm going to blend that. It's just a dry brush. I'm going to pull the two colors together. There we go, right there. Clean off the brush. And same thing over here. There we go. And turn it upside down. Continue working on his little feathers. There we are. Okay, so I just outlined where the little feathers are, and underneath his eye, it is more of the same, but since it's at an angle, we're going to have a little bit of a less, not as defined. I'm going to put those in. There we go. And you don't see them underneath his chin. I have to do another coat of the dark red. And his little head doesn't have a lot of definition on the feathers. I have to get it I have to zoom into the pictures, what I have to do to see them. And that'll be fine, I'll do that later. Right now I'm gonna put another coat of the red underneath his chin. Okay. And clean off the brush a little bit. Okay. I think that's pretty good. And then I'm gonna put more white on his body. So I've got a titanium white right here. And put a little bit on here. And use a round brush. The round brush I just push this paint around with. And it's coming out right. I actually put some on here already. This little guy might look better with oil over the top of it. I might do that later. Going for the feather look. There we go. And get a fan brush, a little fan brush. This is a 2010 or 20-0. That's what I meant, 20-0. This is his downy feathers underneath, I think. And then he's got a wing over on this side with a little bit of white on to the inside of it. And I can redo his branch. So I don't have to be concerned about that right now. And the white even shows a little bit underneath here too. Get a Q-tip, clean off some of it. There we go. And his wing looks kind of gray. Grab some black, which is ultramarine and burnt umber together. And then I'm going to add a little white to it. I'm going to add a little bit more brown to that. Okay. I'll go on the side of the white here and get some white with it. There, and then put that on this feather. I just pulled through the white with the darker color already on the brush. Grabbing a little bit more brown. And pull through the white again. This is acrylic paint, like I've mentioned before. I think he might do better with oil later. I may do that right over the top. Oil on acrylic. I'm just pulling through the white with gray on my brush. There we go. And his little feet are black. I'm going to rinse off the brush I was using for the feathers. And get some black on it, which is ultramarine and burnt umber together. No white, because the white would make it gray. There we go. I'm getting some black together on a round brush. And one of his little feet, I'm gonna have to finish the branch again too, but one of his little feet starts right at the edge of his body here. That's two little toes. There we go. And one further up, almost to where the other side of his little white area there. Okay. There's 2 feet. And his eye is going to be, it's sort of a, we're looking at it from the front. There it is. There's his eye. And he's also got the beak, which the beak is going to be black. Again, I've got it on the brush already. It's a little round brush. Paint that in. Turn you at the right angle, huh? About right like that. I'm gonna turn it on upside down too. I might be making it a little bit thick. I need to take it down a little bit. It's just the angle you're looking at it, right? When you're looking straight on something that can be coming straight towards you, but it's going to be at an angle. So I'm going to take out some of it. It's a little bit thick. I'm gonna get some of that dark red that I have underneath his chin. Goes like right out to underneath his eyes too. It's where his little neck is. There we go. Okay. It's got a little bit above his eye too, where he has a ridge on his head. Get that in there. Almost like an eyebrow. It's got a little angry eyebrow there, but it's not really angry. There. And I'm just putting the line of red down there to put in his eye. There we go. And that shadow comes out a little bit further. There we go. I'm just going to put it right to the edge there. That's good. And I will have to zoom in on him to see the the rest of it. From here it just looks like there's nothing on the top of his head, but there's got to be something. So I'll zoom in. And I'm going to put some light gray on his tummy. There's some little feathers in between those dark feathers. We need a little bit more gray instead of white. There we go. And I'm going to add water to it as well. Okay. Put that on those little feathers. There we go. I'm just going to put it right here in between. I'm going to take off a little bit of that. I just am touching it with my gloves. Get some dark gray. Yeah, there's a little bit more dark gray. There we are. There we are. And I'll put in more. A little softer. I'm so glad you joined me to put in the hummingbird head. I have other hummingbird videos on here as well. If you watch all the videos, you'll see lots of hummingbirds being painted, but this guy's definitely brighter and different than the other guys. I'm just touching it with a damp brush. I don't want to put a lot of water on it. I'm going to blend that over the top of it. There we go. Make the feathers softer. the outline of the feathers. Have to go underneath each other. And put a little line in here too. There we go. I'm just touching it to pull off the excess paint. There we go. And blend it a little bit. I'm going to blend that a little bit with a, actually I can take a little bit off, but there we go. And it's just a little bit lighter than what the other gray was. There we go. Their patterns are so intricate on their little feathers. Okay. I'll get some more gray paint. There's some darker gray, having the black in there. There we go. I'm going to just take a little bit of water and take this down to the bird itself so it's not, the feathers aren't ruffled there. This one doesn't have a lot of pushback. You know, the brush is not very stiff. Let me get another one. Here we go. All right. Yeah, that's pretty good. I think that's good. I'll leave it like that. And he has a little bit of light gray right around his eye. So I'm gonna get the really tiny brush. And it's kind of like, maybe he's older, I don't know. But it's on the top of his eye, so I'm gonna turn him so I can get that on there. And I can barely see it behind his eye. I have to put more black in there, but I got the gray in there for sure. Let me bring his eye up a little bit. I'm just doing it with water. I'm going to use this other brush, it's stiffer. This one's a better one to push the paint around. There we go. I think he would stand out really well with the oil over the top of it. I'm so glad you joined me for this video. Join me for the next one, which will be the, more details on this little guy. Please subscribe to DK Bolljat. And if you liked this video, please hit like. I hope you watch all the videos. And please hit the notification bell. You'll know when I load another video to watch. So again, thank you, and I will see you in the next video. God bless you, my friend.